What's going on YouTube? How's everybody today? Very good to hear. Today I want to talk about the debut album of a band called Higamos Hogamos. This was released in 2009 on DC Recordings. Higamos Hogamos is a duo comprised of a guy named Steve Webster and Toby Jenkins. Steve Webster has a solo project called The Black Neon, and I think both guys were in a band called Fort Lauderdale before they were in Higamos Hogamos. They got the name from a early 1900s philosopher called William James, and I guess he was doing all these experiments with drugs, and one night when he was on nitrous oxide, he found the meaning of life somehow and scribbled it down and woke up the next day super hungover, and when he read it he just scribbled down Higamos Hogamos. So I don't know how great of a philosopher he is. I don't know much about his work other than that which I just read maybe last night when I was looking up this album. Not a lot of information on Higamos Hogamos online. They're a pretty underground band. They do have a new album slated to come out soon, or already is out, called Sorcery, which I will check out too. Anyway, I read in an interview that they, the whole reason they decided to come out with this because they were inspired by bands like Kraftwerk and Harmonia, krautrock bands, and decided to make this kind of album full of cosmic pop, space age pop, futuristic sounds involving a lot of, you know, synths, glittery synths, kind of throbbing, prominent bass lines, fuzzy guitars. It's kind of spoken word-ish, half song, half spoken word kind of vocals. And that's when Higamos Hogamos is really, really on point. They make this very kind of fun, layered, dancey, space-age pop music. Although other songs on this album are kind of more goofy rock and roll, kind of 70s sounding, kind of, it's not really as psychedelic, but it still is dancey, but they just do this kind of like, it's not really funny, but like it's this humorous rock and roll songs. It's a little too goofy to be taken seriously, but when they're doing their space age, futuristic, synth pop thing, it's really on point, really, really enjoyable. It's got this very kind of cosmic feel to it. Kind of like a mix of Tangerine Dream with a little bit of, I don't know, Dandy Warhols, or like Interchange Caribou or Holy Fuck in there, maybe a little bit of the Cramps. But yeah, a little bit too goofy at times, but there are some interesting guitar parts, some really interesting instrumentals on here that really take their time to slowly build. They're like borderline prog rock, I'd say. But yeah, they're definitely kind of an interesting band, kind of weird. Got a weird sense of humor, for sure. But the good songs in here are really, really good. There are more good parts of this album, good songs on here than, I don't want to call them bad songs, just kind of like, I don't know, questionable. But it is their debut album, their new EP or album called Sorcery. I heard it's supposed to be a lot better. It's supposed to be funkier too. This album's not really funky. The album artwork is a little bit funky though. The pink with the yellow bubble letters on it. I don't know. It's probably going to catch a lot of eyes with that, but I don't know how many people are going to be seriously checking out a band called Higamos Hogamos with bright pink. And then in the rest of the sleeve is just the letters on each page. Just more bright yellow, swirly. I think it's intended to be trippy to look at, but if you're stone cold sober, I don't know. It's just kind of an eyesore almost, but what can you do? But yeah, if you want to listen to some fun, interesting sounding dance rock, synth pop, futuristic, what have you kind of shit, Higamos Hogamos do deliver. I first heard them when they were played on the local college radio, CJSR. And I scribbled their name down in the car on an empty envelope. It was like Higamos Hogamos. Went to the DC Recordings website, ordered a couple singles on vinyl, got this album. Do want to check out their new album. But yeah, cool album. Sometimes spacey, sometimes a little more driven. There will be links in the related videos if you want to check out more tracks, because there are songs online you can listen to for free on YouTube. Cool stuff. I did enjoy it. But like I said, a little too goofy at times. Oh well, always room for improvement. Higamos Hogamos debut album, released in 2009 on DC Recordings. Check it out.